Hello, welcome to the Homeless Viking channel. Don't I look kind of like a homeless person? Hey, gonna talk to you about something today. You know, it's mildly sensitive. You guys know I am who I am, right? No airs. People who meet me say, "Wow, you're just like on your videos." So there you go. Gonna talk about alcohol, drinking alcohol. I drink. I kind of look like a drunk right now. My face doesn't look bad enough though. My beard's a little bit too combed. Come on, responsibly, right? I enjoy an adult beverage every now and then. I used to drink beer. I kind of lost my taste for it. I will occasionally stand by. Stay. I will occasionally have a beer, but anymore. Oh, did you see it? No, you didn't. Okay, good. Anymore, I drink a whiskey when I drink. You know, a little bit at night after the day's done to kind of the day away. I can hear the comments already, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I prefer, in general, Maker's Mark. That's what I normally drink because I can afford it. I sometimes drink Russell's, and I have a bottle of Blanton's that the people who gave it to me really want me to open it and drink it now, but it is so special. I am waiting. I don't know for what, but I am waiting. I used to drink scotch, not so much into scotch anymore. I like Glenmorangie. All right, so there's that. So, my wife and I were recently on an army base, and booze there is a little bit cheaper. I think it's the taxes or something. And I said, hey, let's get a big bottle of Maker's Mark, you know, a multi-month bottle, because I don't care how big the bottle is. It's not like I'm running a bar or something, you know, I just need a bottle to have a little snoot when I want one. And so we bought a bottle of Maker's Mark, right? And I don't remember what it costs, but it's kind of expensive. For me, you know, money's relative, but that'll last a long time. So we bought that, and then we'd been talking earlier about a couple ideas on barter items, economy valuable items in a grid down Tiawaki situation. And one of the things we have kicked around for a couple years talking about is moonshine, right? I researched it because at one time there were some brothers who were thinking, hey, let's get the components and make a still. And so I did some research, and what I found, which may not be true, but what I found was it is illegal everywhere in the country to make distilled spirits without a license. And you can't get a license, right? We can't get a license. And so I told the brothers, no way in heck you're putting a still on Shofar Mountain, just not gonna happen. And they were kind of bummed. These were younger brothers. And, but then I've recently met a law enforcement officer at a fairly high level, and he told me that in some places one can have a still. So I don't know. I don't have a still. I don't have a plan to have a still right now. But you got to admit, in a grid down situation, being able to produce booze, hooch, would be a pretty good thing. I think you could probably trade it, sell it, whatever, if you had it. People are going to want it. I also think marijuana will be big. And no, we don't grow that and we don't partake of that. But be that as it may. And so we were talking about, well, maybe we could, because we're starting to assemble a barter supply, things to barter. And I did a video on barter, I think on YouTube. I'll try and find a link. After I post this, I'll go look for the link, come back and add it into the description. But I did a video on barter and ideas, ammo, money, cash, silver, things like that. I understand cigarettes people consider them a decent barter item. But I think the thing with barter items is it has to be durable, and it has to have a lot of value in a small package that's easy to store. I don't see cigarettes as being that. They're kind of big. I mean, the average person smokes what, a pack a day, and I don't even know what a carton of cigarettes costs. Too much probably, but that's just not that much. And doesn't tobacco go stale and that kind of thing? So I just don't know that cigarettes are a great barter item, and they're pretty fragile if you think about it. And so we were talking about buying booze for the people who can't live without it, right? And so we were thinking maybe those little airline bottles, you know, Sister Kate drinks. Oh yeah, she drinks Hennessy. She's got one of those little airline bottles of Hennessy, and it'll take her 18 to 24 months to finish it. One bottle. But I thought, you know, it's small, but really, even in a grid down situation, isn't that just like a shot or something, those little bottles? See, I'm not really that familiar with alcohol, but I'm thinking that's probably too small to barter. And again, I'm thinking that your price points buying it now, you know, I'm quite sure that this is cheaper than buying the equivalent of a bunch of little bottles of it to make this much, right? So I thought, that's not good. So we're in this store and we said, hey, well, let's buy some booze for other people for barter, and let's see what they have. So the first thing we found was these. And how big is this? Somebody out there is already saying it out loud how big it is. I don't know. Doesn't really say. I'm sure it does somewhere. It probably has to. Oh, on the bottle. Somebody's coming down my road. Huh. Anyway, I think it's 500 milliliters. I don't know. Again, I'm not a booze guy. The millennial man's like, hey, he's advertising Jack Daniels. So we bought these, but I was thinking, it's kind of expensive and it's a little bit too big. And so we bought 2 of them. Want to be in a video? So we bought 2 of them. And I'm like, well, I can't afford to buy a whole lot. And you know, if this is a barter item, this is a one-time deal, right? You barter it and it's gone. You barter it and it's gone. And they were kind of expensive. Come on up here, millennial man. I'm talking about bartering with booze, and you don't even know this story yet. So we went into the store. I'm just going to recap real quick to bring them up to speed. Went into the store and we're thinking, hey, we need to get some barter items for booze, and we thought the airline bottles are too small. Right. And so then we got these. I saw these, and I'm like, man, these are a little bit too big, but that's all I have, so we put them in our cart. Well, then, and I'm not a booze guy, so it was a surprise to me, we found, we'll switch where we're standing. We'll stand over here now. We found these. Now this strikes me, as, I know I'm not a cameraman, as the perfect size for barter. Do you know what size these are? I mean, I don't. Oh, it says 375 mil. So 375 milliliters. And so we found Jack Daniels in those, and we're like, well, let's get 2 of those. And we just were lazy and didn't put the other ones back. So we have a better deal. But then we bought Jameson's. It looks like a wine bottle, doesn't it? Like a cheap screw-off wine bottle. But we bought Jameson's Irish whiskey. We only bought 1 bullet because it was expensive. So this will be like the premium barter trade when we set that up. And then we bought vodka, rum, and gin, which I drink none of, but somebody will want it maybe later. So, what do you think of my idea? See, you're here. The millennial man's here.
I think it's an excellent idea. It's something I'm sure everyone else out there has been thinking about, right? You got to think about the our luxury pleasure type items, things like that we have now that are just going to go away once the balloon goes up. You know, your liquor, you know, tobacco,
and some of these
things, you know, shampoo, little the things we take for granted, right?
Yeah, like when I used to travel, I used to save all those shampoos and soaps, all of them. Matter of fact, up in the one outhouse, we have a bin that's full of that stuff. And I thought the same thing. It's world goes to heck, I'll have little bars of soap that people will probably want to trade for because they didn't think ahead. Now we've got for us big bars of Dial, right? You know, in my little container. But some of these are even in plastic containers. I mean, you know, walk around like this. I started this out saying I look like a homeless drunk. Like that. But I mean, it's even formed kind of like a flask. these little ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an idea. They were not that expensive. Like I said, the bullet was kind of expensive. But we're going to put those in our barter bin, and if nothing ever happens and we don't go to barter, 1,000 years from now, somebody will say, look at this, there's sewing needles, and there's silver, and there's booze, and there's, what is going on here? Early man must have blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Hey, here, people are going to ask, so I'll just ask you now, what's up with your channel, man? Everyone's going to say, how come he's not doing anything?
Yeah, so life just happens,
Nothing like ambushing him, he just showed up.
No, but I have plans to get back onto YouTube. It's just where I'm at in my life right now. I haven't been putting out videos. I haven't forgotten about y'all. I still care about everybody out there that's been following me, following our community and everything. But it's just going to take me some time to get back on here. But you guys will be seeing me again.
Because the goat's got to eat.
That's right. The goat's got to eat.
All right. Hey, so nice surprise visit from the Millennial Man. And give it some thought. Barter items. Yeah, we stocked up on booze. You can say negative things about booze if you want. That's okay. Feel free to comment. All right. Or positive. I'll see you out there.